Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Shield Hero Season 4, Episode 8. So, the last episode was exciting. We took down the lighthouse. I liked the combat was more fun than some of the other combat we've had recently. And we've now landed our ships and everything, so we are moving right along. And we also, learned a kind about the rebellion that's been building up and everything here. I still really wonder like what obviously they've been kind of locked out and stuff, and they're not allowed to. The thing is, they're not allowed to kill people even if they're monsters. They just have to let people die, it seems like, which sucks. But there are rules of just no killing in general, which doesn't seem like a terrible rule except for those small chances where a monster is killing someone, right? But yeah, so it's I'm wondering because it seems like a very peaceful, beautiful place, yet the rebels are seeming like, oh, we need to fix this. I haven't noticed it being a really bad problem yet. It's not like we're seeing guards and royalty killing peasants in the streets and stuff like that yet. But maybe we'll see more of Cute and Low this episode and be like, okay, yeah, we need a regime change. So, anyways, let's jump into this episode and see what happens. We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Hmm? They don't look so good. Oh shit. They drank too much. Hmm. Can we just quickly go kill them? I want to get this over with. We're getting credits. Are we getting no opening? Hmm. Use the blessings. Huh, is that like an actual power kind of thing? Machina, true ruler. Hmm. If Sedina said she's still here, that means it feels like Sedina knew her before she left this country, which makes me think it's not bitch, like I thought. Uh-oh. Ominous. Didn't sound like either of those. What the heck? What the heck? Why? The government did this? Release a sealed monster. Too stupid to make a harem when he could. That's so funny. Hmm. Someone important like me. He did not want to answer that question. Oh. Damn. Yeah, so there's gonna be others we may need to fight. What? Oh no. Well, that's not good. That's what we are? I really hope that they see it that way. If they are worshipped as guardians even by the people, I'm worried that if they kill it, they're gonna be like, they killed the guardian, they're the bad guys. Oh my god. That's a lot of heads. Hmm. I feel like I've heard that before, Yamata no Orochi. I'm assuming that's an actual, like, Japanese, like, deity or legend or something like that. Oh. Oh, nice. So shit. Nice. We got some gear. I threw it away. Ooh. Gotta love a super CG monster, though. Oh, okay. I mean, when I saw multiple heads, that was my first thought. If it was like a Hydra. Alright. You know, as much as I've seen a lot of, like, oh, it's got a barrier. As much as I've, like, known of Hydra lore, I've never really known how you truly defeat them. They got a poison head and a fire head. What? That's crazy. Alright. Cool. Let's go, Raftalia! There's that move again. Nice. Man, he is clutch with those shields. Hell of a tank. Okay. Ooh, that's cool. Get 2, 3. Three heads left, or 4. There's another one down. Damn. She is strong. Did that do it? Hmm. I'm worried since it didn't attack any villagers yet, I'm worried they're not gonna think it was a threat that needed to be taken. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. It's gonna explode? Or is it... Jeez. Hmm. Yeah, that's not good. What? There's another one? So now the barrier is gone so we can get to town? Wow, not the real body, what the heck? So they're just like familiars or something? How do you stop them? Well, I know destroy the real body, I get it, but can he just keep making more then? Uh... Hmm... They're already back. That makes sense. Oh, I didn't think about that. I just thought it had orders or something. Yeah, that was kind of silly of you, Atla. I understand the guy's a creep, but I hate when characters do stupid things because of reasons like that. Alright, let's go for the Dragon Core. I wonder if we'll solve this episode. I'm a little worried because there's like 5 more of these, or however many more we saw all across the continent. We get text. Is it Japanese? The hero language. Whoa, what? What? This is convenient. He just found like a buff scroll. Method 1. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So unfortunately, he already knew the hint there, but like I said, maybe if they bring the other people here. It's a part of working together with the other weapons, maybe, is being able to bring the rest of them here. That was method 1, right? Maybe there's 4 methods if you bring all 4 heroes. And maybe they learn something significant. Okay, so this is the real one? For sure? For real reals? Ah, okay. How is she gonna rule a nation if she I mean, unless she leaves Naofumi. Whoa. Ada. Isn't she a whale, though? Is that good to do that on land? Maybe she'll just be able to fly? Cool. Okay, so she can just fly through the sky, because fuck water, I guess. She was strong before. I can't imagine. Ooh. Battle of the gut. They can't even do anything. Wow, just zapping all the heads. Why have more moves when one works, right? That was cool. I like that. Art looked really cool, too. Damn. Just eviscerated it. Was that the other one that faded, too? Alright. We got the core. It's looking pretty ominous. Is it a weapon? Oh, shit. Wow. The blacksmith is here. Can he do something about it? Uh... How did he do that? That's such an anime thing. I have a feeling... I have a feeling the propaganda angle isn't gonna go well. Oh, okay. Poor Philo being stuck with the name Philo. Oh, really? Is that, like, revered? I mean, I know they have, like, the Sakura trees and everything here, but... Philo's like, the fuck? Alright. That was a cool episode. I mean, we had, like, a whole, like, 3D, you know, CG style monster, but, you know, I'm never a fan of that. Like, I'm okay with it when it comes to, like, some background stuff, or, like, if they're showing, like, a distant shot of, like, a bunch of ships or vehicles moving or something, and it's just kind of like like, an establishing shot sort of thing. I'm okay with some of that, but, like, when it comes to monster fights, or just fights in general, I prefer the 2D style for fights, so... But at least our characters were still 2D interacting with the 3D, and most of, like, it didn't really do that much, you know? It was just kind of there and moving while our characters beat on it. It shot out some poison and fire a few times, you know, but other than that, most of the interesting stuff with our characters interacting with it, so I didn't mind it as much, you know? It could have been worse. So, but, but yeah. Interesting. So They have these monsters that were sealed by the previous emperor. They made them stronger and then unsealed them. Fantastic. Love when people do that. That is it, guys, for episode 8. But man, I really dislike when people like I guess I talked in the beginning of this episode of saying the government hasn't done anything too bad yet. This is bad. I don't like this. I'm not a big fan of when it doesn't have to be a government agency, but when people take something that someone worked really hard to contain and start messing with it or releasing it, I hate that. You know, it's like why do we have to poke the bear? We had someone took a lot of effort to try and like get this thing sealed. In this case, I don't know if anyone died in the process or whatnot, but by making it stronger and then releasing it, you're just kind of setting the stage for someone else to get hurt and for their sacrifices to be in vain. But yeah, we have more of these monsters all over the place that we might have to deal with depending on if they decide to release those as well. So we'll have to see what happens there. I liked the joke that the blacksmith made, the one where like, I don't want to talk to a guy who refuses to make a harem. Like, the show's kind of poking at the fact that it's not really like in a way it's a harem show just by the fact that our character is surrounded by majority girls, you know. And majority of them seem to fawn over him. So I don't know, like, the truest definition of harem, but that's harem enough for me. Like, I don't think the character needs to act on it. Like, I don't think Naofumi needs to act on it for it to be considered harem, right? But it was like how the blacksmith just kind of, like, just made a note of it, you know? It's just kind of like seems like the author just making a joke. But yeah, because Naofumi's never really expressed any sort of, like, sexual interest or anything in, like, the girls that are around him, especially, like, Raftalia's been around the most, and I feel like he's been better with her in the last, like, season and a half-ish, but when he first got her, she was very young, right? So then when she grew up and she became so much older, so much quicker, he still thought of her as that young kid, and I understand that. So there was, like, no, like, interest there. I still don't think there's any interest there, but he doesn't treat her as much of, like, a child anymore like he used to. So, but yeah, all these girls around him, and he doesn't do anything with them. So that blacksmith joke was just really funny. So, but also, while we're on the topic of the blacksmith, he was able to touch that cursed sword, and that's, like, the most anime thing ever. Either anime are gonna give you, like, a bunch of exposition to understand why he was able to touch the cursed sword, or they're gonna do something like that where they just brush it off. Like, I've heard that in other shows where, like, I'm a blacksmith, of course I can, like, tame cursed weapons, and it's like, what does that even mean, you know? I find it so funny when they do that, because, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I could see someone being like, well, that just seems like a cop-out of, like, oh, we don't want to explain this character right now, so we're just going to give you some bullshit answer. But for me, I just think it's funny, just because the amount of times I've seen it in other anime, of it just being like, hey, like, why are you so good at this? And it's like, because I'm an adventurer or something, you know? And it's like, well, that doesn't really answer the question. There's tons of other adventurers, and they're not able to do what you just did. You know, but yeah, I can't think of any very specific examples off the top of my head, but I know I've heard that before, where, you know, so anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know that I really have. I mean, the only other thing that I didn't really talk about towards, like, the beginning of the episode was they mentioned Makina, who seems to be, I'm guessing that's the red-haired girl who is manipulating the Emperor. They said she's, like, the true leader behind everything. And Sedina said, so she's still in charge. So unless, only thing I can think of, right, is bitch came over here, somehow killed or imprisoned Machina and then used like magic, illusion magic or something to make herself look like Machina, and then started manipulating the Emperor, right? If bitch is involved. Like, that's the way around it, but this episode really, like, lowered my expectations of bitch being involved, which I guess I much prefer if bitch isn't involved. I've already said that. I don't want her to be involved at all. But I'm also worried that we're about to just have another redhead chick that is jumping to conclusions and being irrational without, like, being, like, aggressive for no real reason, like, just because she put a dress on that slightly resembles the, like, the dress that, like, makes you an emperor, or, like, what you wear when you challenge the throne, or however that suit is supposed to work. I don't know. I hope she has a better reason than she just put on this dress, so now I'm mad at her, right? And I'm like scared of my own position being threatened, so I'm gonna attack them. I hope there's like a better reason for that, because legit, she caused her own problems, right? If that's the case. If she would have never attacked them, they would have never came here and tried to overthrow their kingdom. But she's obviously not going to see it that way. She's going to see it as like, ha, I was right. See, you were always going to do this. That's why I attacked. But we'll see. I'm worried about how they're going to write this character, because I don't want it to be another bitch, right? I don't want it to be just another irrational asshole redhead. You know, we already have one of those, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Sedina saying she was here before, unless, like I said, with like the swapping out who it is or something, then I don't think it's bitch, because I don't think bitch has been here manipulating the emperor of this country since Sedina was here, which I think Sedina did Sedina leave around the time that her parents left, Raphtalia's parents left, which would have been a while ago, right? Raphtalia's parents died in one of the waves, didn't they? If I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've seen Season 1 again, guys, I apologize. I think they died in one of the waves, but was that one of the waves that happened when Naofumi was already here? I can't remember, because if Naofumi was already here, then it might be within the time frame then that bitch would have been around at that time, but it took a while before bitch really got outed. So I feel like Sedina would have left by then. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So, anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it from me. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. There's not more for this show, but there's more for other shows through the Early Access tier or the Patreon show tier. Early Access tier gets you 2 episodes ahead of time. The Patreon show tier gets you shows that aren't even released to YouTube yet. Things like Freerun Solo Leveling Season 1 and 2, and Dan Season 1, and what I've watched so far of Season 2. So check all that out if you're interested. Links in the description should be popping up on the screen. I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.